Hey, my beautiful people. How you guys doing? I hope that by the time you watch this workshop, you are doing well and things are in a good place. So I know I don't have to say the disclaimer, but I kind of do want to say this disclaimer. I was supposed to have this workshop last night, but as we all know, life can happen, especially when you're a parent. Things will happen that doesn't work out how you would like for it to work out or it doesn't work in your favor. So normally my kids go to bed at 8 o'clock. And that's why I scheduled it for 8:30 so that this way I would have time with them asleep. And for those of you who are new or watching me for the first time or hearing about me for the first time, I live with my family in an extended stay, so we're in one room. So whatever noise they make, it pops up in it. So that's why I have to make sure that everything's quiet in the background. And my little one just did not want to go to bed last night. She was just adamant about not making it to bed. So it ended up putting me in a like depressed mode because I was like, I've had this workshop plan for a whole month now. I really want to get this done. I didn't have anyone pre-register, so I knew I wasn't failing anyone by not showing up, but I feel like I failed to myself. So I decided I'm gonna record the workshop anyways, and I'm gonna put it on my platforms and I'm gonna put it out there for anyone who may have not known that I was even having a workshop, but can probably get something out of the tips that I have to say or out of the information that I give. So I just want to say welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And just thank you for supporting. All right. My name is Lynette, and this is Coaching with Lynette H. I'm a life coach for parents. Bear with me one second. How do I get to the next screen? I haven't done this. Here we go. Oh no, I gotta move this. Let me put myself down here because then I'm covering the words. All right, welcome to Support for Parents Workshop. Hello, my name is Lynette and I'm a life coach for parents. You may ask yourself, why do I need a life coach for parents? What does a life coach for parents do? What is the point of a life coach for parents? These are very good questions. These are questions that honestly, if I wasn't a life coach for parents, I probably would have asked the same thing too. When I got into this field, I was like, what? Like, I could have had one of these when I was raising my kids from little. Like, what? I could have had somebody support me, be there with me, help me get my goals, reach my accomplishments. Like, what? I could have had support, genuine support. I would have loved that. I would have. Now, ask yourself a few questions first, okay? Because you may be wondering a couple of things, or just curious, or just want some more knowledge. So let's start asking, how do you show up when parenting? Are you calmly talking to your child or children? Are you stressed from previous things that may not relate to parenting when parenting? This one's extremely important because sometimes we can be frustrated with another situation and our kids can do something and we can hand out a harsh punishment because we were already frustrated, not necessarily because what they did required that punishment. All right. Do you find yourself redirecting the same behaviors? Does your child lie about their actions? Are you stressed with the thought of parenting at times? Is it overwhelming to balance work and home? These are all very good questions. If you've answered yes to any of these questions, then sweetie, you can definitely benefit from a life coach for parents. But are you struggling with time management? Do you have support to help when feeling burned out? And this is important. We will push and push and push as parents to make sure our kids are good, but we burn ourselves out in the process and don't realize that we're doing it, and that's not okay. Would it help to have someone that could understand your stress level firsthand? And I ask that because I have a lot of stressors. Like I just said, we live in an extended stay. So we are four people in one room. I have two high functioning autistic children that have mental illness and an atypical preschooler. Child, it can get very chaotic in here. Could having support help you balance life and parenting? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, then you are in the right place. These are just a few of the questions as parents we don't bother to ask ourselves. There are plenty of different reasons to get a coach, but the outcome will be a good one, not just for you, but for your child and children as well. Like, and that's important. So not only are you going to benefit from having the support of a coach, but your children will benefit from it as well. Now, here's a little bit of my story. You may be wondering about me as a person and what makes me qualified to help other parents. I hope you don't mind me being fully honest and transparent with you. Almost 4 years ago, my mental health took a turn for the worse. I was battling so much that I couldn't show up as a productive parent. I was fighting to stay alive myself while trying to keep my suicidal daughter alive as well. Um, I have 3 children. My oldest, we call Beva, is high functioning autistic and mental health. She's now 20. I fought for years to keep her here with me. My middle child, Delano, is also high functioning autistic and mental health. He's now 14. It has been a difficult road with him, but we've made it this far. My youngest, Lyrical, she's 4 and she's my only normal child. And then, oops, did I forget to mention that I'm also in a wheelchair? It has been a year and 6 months since I have been in a wheelchair. And life as a parent with mental illness is already a struggle. Like, okay, put it like this. Parenting is already a struggle. Parenting is already hard. Parenting is already hard. Parenting is a struggle. Parenting is difficult. Parenting is complicated. Parenting has its rewards, it has its challenges, but add on having mental illness on top of that. I'm sorry for all the noise my daughter is making, you guys. I apologize, but she's not taking into consideration that her mommy is working right now and she's making too much noise. So I'm sorry for all the noise in the background. I apologize if it's sidetracking you. I don't mean for it to happen. But yeah, parenting alone is difficult. And then when you parent with mental illness, it's even it's a bigger challenge because you have to protect your own mental state while you're trying to be a parent. But raising kids that have disabilities as well while you have your own disabilities is even harder. Then you add on being in a wheelchair and it's just like all these strikes against you and it's difficult. But I fight hard and I fight hard for my family. I don't allow any of my obstacles to deteriorate me from my goals or my accomplishments or the things that I know that I can accomplish. It may not be an easy road. I may not be able to do it how you do it. I may have to find ways to tweak it and make it work. But I'm still going to show up every day, be productive, and to be the best parent that I can be, however my situation may be. All right, what does a life coach for parents do? Together, we can figure out how you're showing up versus the way you want to show up. Together, we assess how you're showing up at the moment and what may cause you to show up that way. And this is important to me because, like I said before, sometimes you can have outside triggers, whether it be from work, your partner, your parents, siblings, a stranger, a coworker, wherever those triggers are coming from. And you can bring it home and carry it into your parenting without realizing it. And then sometimes we can cause childhood traumas and we're not even noticing it because we're not being parents at that moment. And that's why I said that one's extremely important to me because it's important that you're showing up as a parent when you're parenting and not with any other outside triggers or worries or concerns. Together we evaluate all areas of your life, not just you as a parent. We want to make sure that you're balanced in all areas. This helps when you're parenting. If outside stresses are handled, then you have no reason to be stressed when parenting. These are just a few of the things that we work on together. And the key word is together. Down here, I have the wheel of life. Because it's important to have all areas of your life balanced and in a good space so that you can know what needs to be worked on in reality and what needs more attention or where you're thriving. Sometimes we think we're failing in all areas and we're actually thriving in some. And that's a good way to keep you motivated. So now we're going to enter the parenting tips. So my first parenting tip is check in mentally with yourself. That is parenting tip number 1. Check in mentally with yourself. Prior to parenting, when checking in mentally, you can ask yourself a few questions. How am I feeling at the moment? For example, are you mad, stressed, frustrated, sad, irritated, angry, bothered, etc.? Are you getting ready to parent with any negative emotions or feelings from something else? Is there anything else that's bottled up, bothering you that can affect how you parent at the moment? Can I have a conversation with my child or children without yelling? And to me, this is important because we're so accustomed to yelling when we're upset that we don't stop and realize that's not okay. It's not healthy for our kids. It's not healthy for us. Like, it's just not okay. You can ask yourself questions that will allow you to determine if parenting at the moment is a smart thing or if you should regroup first. And by that, I mean take time to yourself, mentally check how you're feeling, check how everything's going with you in your mind, check on if anything is causing you to be irritated. Then process all of that first before you actually parent. All right, parenting tip number 2, more talking, less yelling. I'm gonna say that again. More talking, less yelling. Let's be honest with ourselves. I grew up in a yelling household. I know a lot of other kids who've been yelled at too. Do you remember half of what that yelling was about? Did it really impact you in a positive way? Or was it just something else that you put up with because you had no choice? Did you learn anything from it? Did you gain anything from it? Did anything change? If none of that happened, then what is the point of yelling? We can talk things out like human beings and communicate. So if you want to parent and get your point across, and you want to do so by talking. When we talk, we teach our children communication skills. Yelling can cause your children to shut down, which can make you frustrated. If you talk, you can get to the bottom of the reason behind the behavior. As parents, sometimes we're so busy trying to redirect the behavior or correct the behavior that we're not realizing our kids are yelling help through their behavior. So something else can be triggering that behavior, and we need to get to the bottom of what that is so that we can avoid having problems with the behavior moving forward. If you were yelled at while growing up, how did that make you feel? Those feelings may be the same ones you caused within your child. Parenting tips number 3, admit your mistakes. Being perfect does not exist. It is okay to admit to your children that you've made a mistake. You're teaching them responsibility for their actions while letting them know it is okay they make a mistake, if they make a mistake. You're also showing them how to handle mistakes in a way that counts. Sorry, my picture keeps getting in the way. My apologies, you guys. When I made the slides, I forgot to think about where was I going to be. Um, so yes, admit your mistakes. Okay. We sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but I know with me, in the past, I've known that in the past, I know that I've thought parents were like perfect and things were perfect and things were perfect and things were supposed to be perfect and things are supposed to be perfect. And that's not the case. Things don't have to be perfect. They're not supposed to be perfect. They don't need to be perfect. They can just happen. You know what I'm saying? You are human. You can make a mistake. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's okay to admit to your child, hey, trial and errors, things can happen. You can make a mistake. It's okay. You just learn from it and you move on. These are things we're teaching our children. These are things that we should also know as adults, and it'll help us within our parenting. Okay, where am I going to put myself? Here we go. What is a parent support discovery call? A discovery call is a free session with me in a virtual setting like Zoom. Now, if you're not comfortable with being in a setting like this and talking, it's cool. It can be over the phone as well. It does not have to be. I just feel like to build a rapport, it's nice to see each other, but we don't have to. During this time, we see if you're in need of my services and how you can benefit from my services. We build rapport with one another. This session is about you and your needs, the way that I'm able to verify how I can assist you. I'm able to verify how I can assist you during our time together. So in that call, before that call, I send out like I believe it's like 9 questions. You answer those questions and I prepare myself based off of your answers. So I can kind of have an idea of where you are and where you need to be or where you would like to be. Then when we go into the session, I ask you, what would you like to work on or what would you like to get out of your time with me? Then based off of those questions you already previously answered and that answer, we move on and see how we can get to the bottom of helping you and getting you into a stable place. By the end of the discovery call, you will know how I can assist you with my services. Once we have all these bases covered towards the end of the call, we move on to my services, which are tailored to your specific needs. We go into detail what this may look like for you during our time together. I have a 90-day program that I usually push that program because I believe it takes about 90 days to get you in a good place in your life. If you need to sign up for more, you just sign up for more. We can do coaching by the sessions, but I'm going to be honest with you, coaching just doesn't happen in one session. It depends the work that you put into it. So I can be an amazing coach, but if you're not doing your part as the client and doing the work to get you where you need to be, then no matter how good of a coach I am, it's not going to work because you have to be doing your part. The fruit that you get is based off of the labor that you give, okay? All right, so how to contact me. This is a group workshop and it doesn't allow me to help you based on your current needs. We can do that during the parental discovery call. You can book one here. So you can either visit my website or you can scan the barcode, which I'm not sure if my screen is actually in the way from you guys being able to do that. Let's see. I'll go back to the beginning one and you guys can actually scan it from there. And then these are other ways to contact me. And I just realized my picture is actually in the way of the barcode. So I do have my website, Coaching with Lynette H. I have where you can book your discovery call on my Calendly app. I have my Instagram, Parenting with Mental Illness. I have my Facebook, Coaching with Lynette H or Parenting with Mental Illness. I have 2 Facebook groups that you can join and be a part of. And then I have my YouTube channel. So if you would like to continue to hear things from me or learn about my own story and what my trials and tribulations are, because I do use my life to try to motivate other people. I go through a lot and I deal with a lot. And I feel like I can support others by showing them that they can do this. And that's why I kind of put my story out there. I'm just throwing that out there for in case if you would like to follow. Now I'm going to take you back to the first screen. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. I'll just have to do it this way because it won't go. All right, so there go the barcodes. I'll just leave it this way because if I do full screen, I know that my picture will be in the way and you guys will be able to get it. So you can contact me or you can get my social networks. It's up to you, whatever you would like to do. If you would like to book a discovery call, that would be amazing because I would love to be able to get to know you, meet you, hear your story, and help you in any way that I can. I'm here to always support no matter what's going on, always motivate no matter what way I can. And I do hope that the parenting tips that I gave you guys, I know they seem so logical and minimal, but as parents, we don't always think about it. And that's why I like to throw them out there and keep you guys, keep them in the forefront so that you can be a positive, productive parent moving forward. You know what I'm saying? But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and for being with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I have no problems with answering the questions for you and getting back to you as soon as possible. But I do hope that you guys have a beautiful, blessed day. And again, thank you so much for being here with me. Mwah. Have a nice one.